Hello everyone and welcome to the JRPG Report. This is going to be episode 103. My name is James Fisher. Thanks for tuning in yet again this week. It is March the 11th of 2020, an absolutely beautiful spring-like day here. I hope it's a wonderful day for you as well. We've got a bunch of stories to talk about on today's podcast. First, I'll get a little paperwork out of the way for you guys, so to speak. I'm on vacation next week, so I will have obviously I have my phone with me, and it does have the ability to record the podcast on it, so let's just play it by ear. If there's enough to report next week and I can get a good audio quality out of it, I will do a podcast. I'll have my computer with me, so it's no big deal there. It's going to be more of if there's stuff to do or not. And I'm going to also go ahead and pre-record 2 Sunday specials for you guys. And don't have a ton of time to do this week. It's a bit of a scramble. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to do first, but it's going to be 2 soundtracks for you guys. The first one is going to be Distant Worlds 4. And that is music from the Final Fantasy series. It's a live orchestra. I forget how many pieces to it, but it's kind of a big, bold selection of some of the best songs in the Final Fantasy history. It covers ones all the way from 1 to 15. And is there 15 in there? No, 1 through 14. As of this one. No, 15's in there. Apocalypse and Octix is on there. So that is going to be one week. The next week is a concert also. I've went to both of these concerts, but this one is called The New World, and it is a much smaller, I think it's 13 or 14 piece orchestra, and it's much more intimate. It's kind of crazy because they're, both live orchestras, but a very different feel. Whereas like the new Distant Worlds one has the screen with the images from the games playing at the same time as this big booming music, and then the New World ones, there's no screens going on. It's a small, intimate setting, and I hope that kind of comes across in the soundtracks as well. I want to kind of record at least something to do for those, and I wanted to make a Sunday special, but there's just so much time, and I do want to enjoy my vacation, obviously, as well, so I hope you guys enjoy those. But let's get to the news, and it can't always be good news, right? That's just the way the world is, and right now, the world is, of course, dealing with the coronavirus, and the latest casualty in the gaming world is actually E3. It has officially been canceled. It was due to go on June 9th through the 11th in Los Angeles. So, we're talking about 3 months away, but already a show of that size, it requires a lengthy build-up time and getting things together. So just go ahead and cross that one off your list of if you were planning on attending, and cancel those flight plans. It's not going to happen this year. I dare say that's going to be the case with a lot of things. I'd be very sad, but I'd be surprised if we have Gamescom or Tokyo Game Show this year. There's too much public fear with this thing going around, and too much risk to really make it worthwhile. We just may remember 2020 as the year that there were no gaming events that went on. Now, on the flip side, E3 has been changing quite a bit over the past couple of years. Of course, Sony pulled out a couple of years ago. With online streaming, we saw this a little bit last year, and they already made plans to do it this year, where you've got the games they're talking about. Obviously, you have a bunch of them like, okay, here's this awesome game, and it's available right now. Go ahead and go get it. But this year they were talking about doing like limited run demos on games for the days of E3. I suspect that's going to be the case. There may still be a lot of things released during that time frame that they were planning on doing anyway, just in an online fashion, live streams and stuff of that sort. So I still think we're going to have plenty of things to talk about during E3 that get announced. It's just going to be completely different. And that's kind of the way 2020 is shaping up to be. So it's kind of sad in a way, but like I said, the show's been changing quite a bit, and maybe this is kind of a path forward to where it's not the big hoopla that it normally is each and every year. Still have that place where gamers can come and people in the industry to converge, but just it's going to change, and it already is changing. So that's kind of a bummer to kick off the podcast with, but it was by far the biggest piece of news that came out this past week. Got an announcement from Sega, who have now detailed the Western releases of both the launch and digital deluxe editions of Sakura Wars here in the West, and there was a new trailer and screenshots to go along with that. So here is the launch, which is the physical edition for $59.99. That's going to be on April the 28th. And you get, of course, the game. You get the theater costume add-on bundle. You get the really cool reversible cover, which is the reverse was the original Japanese cover art for the game. And you get the sticker set. But it's for free, so you really can't complain too much. Now, the digital edition is going to have the Imperial Combat Review PlayStation 4 dynamic theme and the Neko ears add-on bundle, also $59.99. The digital deluxe edition, as far as this article goes, there was no price on that. So once I get that updated, I will pass it along to you guys. Here's what you get with that: the Legacy of Love add-on bundle, which is a pack of costumes and background music paying tribute to various things. You get the Charming Accessories add-on bundle. It includes the glasses, dogtail accessory, angel accessory, and swimsuit DLC bundle. You get the aforementioned Neko ears add-on bundle and the Imperial Combat Review PlayStation 4 dynamic theme. The new trailer kind of went into the different relationships that you can get into via the Lips dialogue system. That's what you say and how you say it has a profound impact on relationships off and on the battlefield. Interesting looking game, and certainly they're given a few options for you guys to check out. I suspect we may even see a physical deluxe edition be announced at some point in time, but they're kind of running out of time to get that going. So as soon as I hear that price on the digital deluxe, I'll pass along, and if anything else pops up about Sakura Wars, it's April 28th release. Quickly, we learned about the Mega Dimension Neptunia 7 coming to the Switch via the Nintendo eShop on March 19th in Japan for 4,800 yen. There's actually a 20% discount on it if you pre-order right now. No news on if that's going to make it into a Western release or not, because this version only supports Japanese as well. Keep your eyes peeled and see if that one comes over to the West or not. It's certainly a game that the Switch can handle just fine. We'll see if that happens or not. We had two good pieces of information about Trials of Mana. First, PlayStation Blog published a 20-minute PlayStation Underground gameplay video featuring air travel on the world map, some character training, and the Labyrinth of Ice dungeon, which has a final boss battle against Figmund, who awaits in its icy depths. Trials of Mana is due out on April 28th for PS4, Switch, and PC via Steam. You can head over to Facebook. I've got the link to that video on there, as well as in my opinion, a perfect video that this game, I feel like it kind of needed, and I think it's a little over 4 minutes long, and it was a new gameplay video for the game from Square Enix. Here is their overview of the game. Trials of Mana is a full high-definition remake of the third entry in the classic Mana series. The game will bring the beloved story and characters to the modern era with real-time combat, beautiful 3D graphics, and updated gameplay. Released originally in Japan as Seiken Densetsu 3 in 1985, Trials of Mana immerses players in an unforgettable adventure filled with exciting gameplay, memorable heroes, and villains. Players will craft varying experiences by selecting a party of 3 from 6 unique characters as they embark on the adventure of a lifetime, upgrading their characters' classes into more powerful forms, learning over 300 different abilities, and discovering a world of secrets and mysteries to explore. Those who pre-purchase or purchase the physical or digital editions of the game by May 21st for Switch or PS4 will receive the Rabbite Adornment DLC, allowing players to gain more experiences from battles up to level 10. Pre-orders of the digital edition of the game from the PlayStation Store will include an exclusive avatar set featuring the game's 6 heroes, while those who pre-purchase from Steam by May 21st will receive the Rabbite Adornment DLC as well as an exclusive wallpaper set. In that trailer, it kind of just really lays out what the game is all about. Kind of just presenting it in a condensed, really good fashion. So I invite you guys to check that out. If you're curious about this game and looking forward to it, you'll be even more excited about the game after you see this. Trust me. In non-JRPG news, we've got 2 stories from sort of the world of Nintendo. So the first one is that more than likely in the next 2 weeks we're going to be getting some Nintendo news. The first one is going to be an Indies game showcase, likely next week on March the 28th. A report according to VentureBeat, saying that Wells were hearing this from other indicators, and they are saying that once this comes out, more than likely the following week, we're going to get a Nintendo Direct that should focus on the Switch's 2020 lineup. VentureBeat reporter Jeff Grubb said that he cannot confirm what will be shown in terms of Nintendo's first-party slate, but to expect the company to, quote, continue relying heavily on remasters and ports. Also, as it is the standard for Nintendo Directs, support from third-party publishers and developers is also expected. Nintendo declined to comment on this, and it is would be interesting to see what Nintendo has planned for the rest of the year. And in particular, I'd love to hear some news about when Xenoblade Chronicles could be coming out. A nice release date would be nice, to say the least. In other semi-Nintendo news, and a bit surprising, this one kind of came out of nowhere. GameStop has appointed 3 new independent members to its board of directors, including former Nintendo of America president Reggie Fils-Aimé. I've never understood how to say his last name, and I've probably heard it before, but I can't get it. So we're just calling him Reggie from now on. His mom called him Reginald, but we shall call him Reggie. Of course, the famed former CEO. No, not CEO. Was he CEO of Nintendo? COO. That's what it is. From 2006 to 2019. Everybody knows Reggie, and the immediate question is, can he save GameStop? Now, his quote after this announcement was, "The gaming industry needs a healthy and vibrant GameStop. I look forward to being part of the GameStop Corporation board and helping to make this happen." Now, board of directors is very important. They decide a lot of things, but it is a board of 10 people. It is not like they brought him on to directly, save the sinking ship, so to speak. He's on a board with other people with other interests. And like Reggie did an awesome job at Nintendo, but he was also kind of in charge of things. So I'll be honest, I'm not very optimistic about what's going to come out of this. I like GameStop. I've always liked GameStop, but they have made more than enough bad decisions that I don't know if it can be saved. I'd be as happy as anybody if it would, but I don't buy games there anymore. It's a different world, and GameStop didn't really change adequately with it. But we'll see what old Reggie can bring to the table and if it's enough to make a difference or not. In Xbox One news, we don't talk about Xbox One very often on this podcast. It's just not a very big JRPG platform. But we have been talking about Phantasy Star Online 2 quite a bit. And they announced that there will be an open beta test for the game beginning on March the 17th at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sega announced. Of course, they have done a couple closed betas here before, and it sounds like it is time for the open beta to really test things, how they are going, and if it can handle the number of players or not. And I'm still hopeful that this all goes well and we eventually get a release perhaps for PS4. Switch may be asking a bit much, but I don't see why a PS4 port of this will not be coming at some point in time. We've got a few more stories to talk about here on the podcast, and we will do that after we take a quick break and a word from Anchor. All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. Got a few more fun stories to talk about with you guys. Don't forget, head over to Facebook, give us a like, follow us on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube. We got a new website. Check us out, jrpgreport.com. And if you would like to sign up for listener support, I would greatly appreciate that. You can find the link at the bottom of this podcast, or just send me an email, jrpgreport@gmail.com. I'd be happy to help you out there, or anyway, you feel free to contact me as well. That's cool. Bandai Namco debuted some new gameplay footage for Sword Art Online Alicization Lycris during the Sword Art Online Game Fan Kenasase 2020 live stream. During the program, producer Yosuke Funuma teased, quote, "There are quite a lot of side activities in the game outside of the main story, as well as the fact that, quote, individual maps are quite expansive, and many quests and events are being prepared for them." Finally, he said places that appeared in the anime will reappear in the game, and by simply walking around, it'll make you feel like you're playing the anime. Very cool stuff. The game is due out for PS4, Xbox One, and PC via Steam on May 21st in Japan, May 22nd in the Americas and Europe. You can follow the link on Facebook or on Twitter. And it's a quite lengthy live stream, clocking in at over 2 hours. The gameplay footage is not until an hour and 41 into it. It shows a boss battle, and then 2 hours and 16 minutes into it is another event that you can check out. So if you got some free time and want to check that out, you can do so. A quick note, game that we teased a little while ago, there was a Yokai Watch new game coming out. It is going to be called, Yokai Watch Jam. Yokai Academy Y dash YY Goiken Seta Susu. Oh my goodness. That is the longest title of all time. Good grief. It will launch for PS4 and Switch this summer in Japan. Should this game come to the West, it will need some help with that title. I have no idea why that is so long. Crazy. In the game, players will become a yokai hero and fight fierce battles while also enjoying academy life. It will feature new systems not previously seen in a game before. There was a screenshot that went along with it, which was shared by Level 5 President and CEO Hiro Hono on Twitter, and it embraces the academy life. It looks like this is a courtyard to the academy with trainers all around, and right in the middle of it, what can only be described as a giant purple poo pile with eyes and giant red lips and 8 tentacles coming out of it. It is an odd sight, to say the least. And if for no other reason, you should head over to the Facebook page and check this guy out. It is not an enemy I would like to be fighting at all. Crazy game. Crazy name, crazy game. We talked, I think, 2 weeks ago about this game, about Brigandine, the Legend of Runerzia. And we have the first in a series of letters from the producer, Kazuhiro Igarashi. And he goes into more detail about the turn-based strategy RPG. He says, "Hello, everyone." I am the producer. First, a big thank you to all the fans who have been eagerly waiting for this game. Rest assured, we're pouring our hearts and souls into getting it into your hands as quickly as possible. There's still some time until June 25th, but we appreciate your patience. And he talks about the difficulty levels and the main game mode. The main mode, in the main mode, you choose one of 6 nations to join as you conquer Runerzia. You can also choose the difficulty level at the beginning of the game. If you're new or not used to the game genre, he would recommend going with easy. We also included other features aside from difficulty levels to help newcomers learn the basics quickly. We have offered training mode, which you would call a tutorial mode. This is where you get hands-on instruction about gameplay basics. You can turn on and off this guide after starting the game. When active, you'll see advice about gameplay, skills, spells, and more as you play. The advice offered in this guide and in the tips shown on the loading screen, which can be viewed from any time in the options menu. Once you understand the rules, you'll see how enjoyable these simple yet intriguing gameplay mechanics can be. For veterans of the series who have played Forcina or Grand Edition, you'll be most likely feel right at home with hard difficulty. What are the difference between these 3 levels exactly? He'll be covering that in the next letter. Brigandine, the Legend of Runerzia, is due out for Switch on June 25th worldwide. Interesting looking game, and we'll, I'm sure, hear a little bit more about that between now and its June release date. Another week, another character was announced for Genshin Impact. This one is Ningguang. That's my best guess at it. She is the owner of the Jade Chamber in the skies above Lyre, where the stories abound about Ningguang and her elegance and mysterious smile. As the Tianquan of the Luine Zing, I don't know how you say this word, Qixing. It's missing a U. Not only does she embody law and order, she also represents fortune and wit. So I'm sure we'll be getting more and more of these as it gets closer and closer to the game coming out. I'm excited about this game. I'm sure you guys can tell as I keep reporting on it. It looks like a lot of fun, and it's just a beautiful looking game. 3 stories for Legends of Heroes fans. First, the easy one. Trails of Cold Steel 3 now has a demo for the PC version. Publisher NIS America announced. The game is coming out on March 23rd, but you can check the demo out now. The PC version offers new features, including frame support up to 240 /unlimited frames per second, autosave, customizable high-speed mode and key bindings, and ultra-wide screen support. In addition to the PC demo, the demo for the Switch version also came out in Japan on the Nintendo eShop. I'm not sure if that's here as well or not. You got to head over to your Switch and see if you can check that out yet or not. Of course, there are other Trails of Cold Steel, or not Cold Steel, but other Legend of Heroes games out there. And there is the first web commercial for Legend of Heroes, Hajimari no Kazeki. The commercial includes the first in-game appearances of new characters that appear in the Lloyd route, which unfolds members of the special support section of the Crossbell Police Department, and the Hermit route, led by the third protagonist, but they've not gone into detail about who that is yet. Of course, the other route would be Reen. The game is due out for PlayStation 4 this summer in Japan. The image shows 4 characters that you know are in the SSS and one from Cold Steel 3 with ties to it. It's not that big of a leap to see why she would have joined that. Very interesting looking game. I'm planning on doing, when I get back from vacation, a complete breakdown of the 2 story arcs that they have announced so far. It'll be part of a Sunday special, as there will be spoilers galore for fans who have not played either the Crossbell series or the Cold Steel series, and possibly even the Sky series of Crossbell. The Legend of Heroes Zero no Koseki fan translation mod will come out in just a few days on March the 14th. So if you purchase the Japanese version of the game for PC, you will then be able to download this fan translation for free into English. That's pretty cool. This is from Geofront, the group of fans dedicated to bringing non-localized Falcom games to Western audience at, quote, the highest possible quality. The mod is based on fan translation completed by Legend of Heroes team, or the Heroes of Legend team rather, which consists of members of Giran no Heiyakara, Flamethrower, Yangzu, and Zero Monkey. Geofront took the base transaction and edited it into a form that reaches a high standard set for Trails in the West. To use the mod, which will be available for free, you must own the PC copy of Zero no Koseki, which can be purchased through retailers such as the L Site, the Falcom Shop, or Amazon Japan. So I really like that they've done that. There's even a cool little trailer that's going along with that. Now, Falcom is working on putting this game out for PS4. No word if that's going to be Western or not for sure. So this is kind of beating it to the punch in case they don't do that. It'll be very interesting to see how that works out. Now, I'm going to wait and see what happens. If it does come out, I will be picking that version up, of course. One last story to talk with you guys about, and after last week's rant against NAS America, I'm not quite as hot and bothered about this one, as they Cygames certainly never said that there was going to be Grand Blue Fantasy Relink information coming out of the Grand Blue Fantasy Fest that came. No, this was This was just the 6th anniversary. Grand Blue Fest is not till later on in the year. Anyway, so they had like a 5 or 6 hour live stream, all talking about Grand Blue Fantasy, commemorating the 6th anniversary. That's the mobile gacha game that came out. And me and a couple other people were kind of like, maybe it'll come out. And DualShockers even had the article, the headline, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink Development Update coming on March 8th. Well, that didn't happen. They did not speak about it. I don't know what they talked about, but I talked to a friend of mine on Twitter who's on all this stuff, and he confirmed that nothing came out of it, and no articles came up afterwards about what was said. So the only thing that I did get out of this DualShockers article was that last time they heard about Relink, which was back at Grand Blue Fantasy Fest in December of 2019, director Fukuhara explained how Cygames already had a release date in mind for the game, but would wait until the last moment to announce it to avoid delays. So, how do you like your release date announcements? Do you want the optimistic, here's the release date we're pushing for, and when it gets close we're going to delay it? Or do you like this model of, we don't know when the game's coming out, and we're not going to say when it's going to come out until we 100% sure know that it's going to come out? Both ways are frustrating. The problem with this method is the idea that PlayStation 5 is going to be out before this game comes out for PS4. Now, we've talked about before that doesn't really matter as much with these systems as they are backwards compatible. It's a bit odd. We're not used to this method of doing things. We're used to having something to look forward to, and then delays are just a part of life. We understand. This is a little different. So, jokingly, along with that, I think the only thing that was announced at this, or came out of it, was that Grand Blue Fantasy Fest 2020 will be December 11th to the 13th in Chiba, Japan. Yes, they did announce this during the live stream. It has been held annually since 2017. And of course, when I shared this, I joked that maybe we'll get a release date by then. And now, having heard what we just heard, maybe that is when they're actually going to announce the release date. And it'll be, okay, this game is coming out, February 27th or something like that. I was joking. Maybe there's a kernel of truth to it, and that's actually what is going to happen. That would, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So that's all I got for you guys this week. It was a little light on big stories, but I think we still had some fun with them. And I didn't get too fired up about too much. Like I said, look forward to the next 2 Sunday specials. They may be all that you get. If there's nothing to do next week while I'm on vacation, we'll just be set with those. So we'll have the orchestral music of Final Fantasy this Sunday and next Sunday. If I don't talk to you guys again for a while, just know that I am enjoying my time on JRPG Island. Don't bother me. No, I'm just kidding. You feel free to message and I'll get back with you. That is cool. But our proverbial JRPG Island will be in full effect, at least for 1 week, for yours truly. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening as you do each and every week. I truly appreciate it. And we will talk to you guys again soon. Until then, get back out there and level up. Oh, wait. Stop the presses. I didn't tell you guys about Atelier Ryza. Quickly, it's awesome. It was short. I finished it, and about 40 hours. Like, Ryza was weird because I don't know if they did this previously, but They don't keep track of how long you have played the game, so I kind of had to guess at it. But yeah, I'll guess about 40 hours. Short, sweet, absolutely awesome. By far the best in the series. A huge step forward for the entire franchise. Eagerly anticipating what they decide to do next with this, if this is a new sub-series or if they're just going to start making, you know, standalone releases. I'm fine either way with it. The only thing I don't like about it is the fact that there is DLC for this game to extend the time of it, but each character has their own DLC, and I think they were $6.99 each, something like that. So a short game with expensive DLC added onto it. Not crazy about that, but it's optional. I'm not going to do it, so I don't really care. But absolutely very high. Highly recommend Ryza. Absolutely one of the best JRPGs to come out this past year, and one that I think you should check out, especially if you didn't care for ones previously. I would encourage you to give this one a shot, as it fixes almost everything that was wrong with, like, I didn't care for the time system before, but like you always ran out of time, you could fail based on time limits and travel and all that kind of silly stuff. Battle system, huge upgrade, lots of fun, very dynamic, very fast, but still turn-based. Beautiful graphics, yeah, thick thighs and all that fun stuff. The jokes have been made plenty of times before. Character models are very visually appealing. The world is really fun. I really don't have anything bad to say about the game whatsoever. If you don't care for short games, maybe it's a bit short, but I felt like it didn't drag anything out, and it was really well done the way it is. Okay, that's it. I will stop it there for real. Alright guys, get back out there and now level up.